Hey, welcome back to the Invisible Strength podcast. Today's chronic illness warrior is truly remarkable, and I've had the honor to know her since I was very young. We think middle school, Shelly, that
I
we've
think
known
so,
each
yeah.
other. We
So
didn't
cool.
see each other often because Shelly's based in Boston and I'm here in Minnesota. But when we
Mhm.
did get together, it was like we just picked up right where we left off.
Yeah,
Awesome.
like the sister I never had.
Come on.
But growing up, like, I knew Shelly had a walker to help get her around, but, like, to me, she was just a friend. Like, I didn't see any of the trials and tribulations that she went through growing up
Mhm.
and behind the scenes, but she has gone through incredible adversity, and because of that, has cultivated a wisdom that I think many of us and most adults don't learn till much later in life, if ever. Truly honored to welcome you to the show, Shelly, and have you share your story and experiences and insights with our communities.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
And Chris, as always, thank you for being my podcast partner in crime. I so appreciate you being a part of these conversations.
And now the feeling is mutual. Always excited to be a part of these conversations. So good to meet you, Shelly. Absolutely.
So, Shelly, I had mentioned we had grown up together, but I was incredibly ignorant to the challenges that you face going through school and growing up and then transitioning into adulthood. And now you're navigating your career and doing great things. Can you walk us through your experience with cerebral palsy and what that was like for you growing up?
Sure. So to start off, I was born 2 months premature. I wasn't supposed to be born until March. I was born in January. Ironically, my cousin, my mom's sister's daughter, was also born in January, but we're a day apart. So I didn't want her to have all the attention. So I figured, I'm gonna come too. How dare she?
Right.
From there, I was in the hospital for about 6 months before I could come home because they couldn't get me to eat. I was only 2 pounds. So from there, it's been a journey.
Mhm.
So fast forwarding through my childhood, I had a lot of medical appointments. It took them 2.5 to 3 years to even diagnose me. My cousin was hitting all her milestones, sitting up, crawling, walking. I wasn't doing any of that. So my parents were like, okay, there's something not right here. I've seen neurologist after neurologist. They did testing and I talked very early actually. And so when they were doing the testing, they had me in this little bed, and for some reason I remember it. I don't know why, because I was so young, but it was a squeaky bed that would go up and down the hospital hallways to try and put me to sleep. And I kept trying I could barely turn my head, and I'm like going like this to the nurse, and I'm like, hi, hi. And then they had to have my mom sign for more medication because I wasn't going to sleep.
Yeah.
So right now I've had about 10 surgeries in my legs. During my childhood, it didn't really bother me that I had a walker. It just was what it was. I didn't know any different. It wasn't until about the 4th grade, I would say, that people started to notice, and kids are bullies. I would make something in pottery class and they would step on it. So it would break, which I'm no artist anyways. If those art shows, no one would know what the heck I made. I don't
Mhm.
even think I knew what I made.
Yeah.
But and then one time we went to the Museum of Science in Boston,
Mhm.
and there was no elevator. And I wanted to go to the gift shop because the other kids were going to the gift shop. When you're that age, you want to
Right.
do what other people are doing. So my mom happened to be a chaperone, and so she's like, "You can go. I'm gonna carry it." Like, so she took me, the walker, my backpack, everything up the stairs because the teacher was like, "Oh, well, then she just won't be able to go." And my mom's like, "No, she's going." So it was, the silly little souvenir things. But and then the teacher was like, "Oh, wow, you're strong." Yeah, no thanks to you. But anyway, it basically came out about 4th grade that I was a little self-conscious in that situation. And the teacher did not handle the kids well. I startle easily because of CP, and kids would throw textbooks on the ground just to make me jump. And so
Wow.
I was living in, that sweaty hands, like
Yeah.
anxiety, like, oh my gosh, they're gonna throw a book. Like, do I need to prepare myself? Like, it was
Right.
constant anxiety for me. But again, personally to myself, I didn't see any difference. So I was more inquisitive. Like, why are these kids being so cruel? There has to be a
Mhm.
reason. It's not me. They clearly have their own issues at home, maybe. I don't know. But
Right.
they look for someone that's weaker to make themselves feel more inferior. So I kind of didn't take it personally. I mean, yeah, there were days that it was worse than others that I was hurt. But that's human, right? So at the time, I didn't even know how to express that even to my parents. Like, I just kind of let it go and it is what it is, some type of thing. But it also shaped my sense of empathy and self-awareness because, like I had told you, like these kids, they're kids. Who
Right.
knows what the heck is going on in their homes?
Right.
Not that it makes it okay, but everyone has a story and you don't always know. That being said, as I got older in high school and middle school, and it required a lot of self-advocacy and a lot of I used to have an aide that would make sure I got to class and whatever. And I was like, it got to be like 10th grade, and I'm like, I don't need this. Like, I know how to get myself to class.
Mhm.
I'm very independent. So I had to prove to them that I was able to get myself to class, advocate for myself. But had I not done that, I still would have been stuck with an aide. I'm like, I don't need this. I know what I need. I'll let you know. Very independent. And then driving when
Mhm.
I wanted to drive since I come out of the womb. So we'll just put it that way. My last name is Gear, which is very fitting for
That's also
period because I love cars. So when I was 16, I could not wait to get my license, and
Mhm.
my parents were a little concerned. They're like, "Well, we don't know. Maybe you'll need hand controls. We'll have to look into it." And I was like, "No, I don't need. No, screw those. I don't need those."
Yeah.
So my dad actually had me on the road at like 14, and would go to parking lot and just drive around and get my bearings. I have him to thank for getting me on the road. It started with a lawn tractor when I was a kid. I was in first grade. Loved that thing. That was my favorite thing. And I'd take it up and down the street, up and down over, and I'd mow the lawn kind of and go up and down the street. Oh, mow the lawn as in a messy first grader, mow the lawn.
Right, right, right.
And eventually my mom would be like, okay, shut that up. The neighbors are tired of hearing it now. And I'm like, no, I don't want so then we ended up getting a golf cart, and I would drive that around the neighborhood. It was down the Cape. We had a house down the Cape, and so I would drive that to the beach. And long story short, I've always wanted to drive.
Yeah.
So I was determined that I was not having adaptions. This is not. I don't need this. Nothing against anybody who does. We
Right.
all have needs, and if that's what you need, then that's great. But I got my first car when I was 16, and I would take my friends to school with me because at the time I didn't know how to put the walker in the car.
Mhm.
So they would put it in the trunk for me and then take it out and help me with my backpack and that sort of thing.
Right.
Eventually, I got really tired of that and depending on people and making sure, like, were they going to school that day? Was my mom going to be home at the end of the day to help me take it
Right.
out and all this stuff? And I'm like, I'm sick of this. So my personal trainer and I worked on she's like, "Well, why don't you put the walker in the back seat?" And I was like, "Oh, okay, light bulb." So we worked
Mhm.
for about 4 hours teaching me how to put it in the back seat. So what I do now is I put it in the back seat, and then I shut the door, and I walk holding onto the door handles and get in the driver's side that way. But the first time I was able to do it, I was like, "This is cool. This is." Then the first place I actually went was CVS, so, like, that's exciting. But, yeah, it's been challenging, but I wouldn't change any of it. And the common misconception about cerebral palsy is that people assume, like, that I'm very dependent. I don't have any independence because of the walker. They're like, "Oh, she must not be able to do that." And if they take a minute to get to know me, yes, there may be something I can't do. Even today, there might be something that I can't do, but there's always a way around it. So, I learned that adaption and independence coexist. It
Yeah.
just there has to be maybe a different entrance, or there's always a solution somewhere.
Yeah.
I happen to right now have really good friends that if there are stairs and that's the only option, they do help, and I'd be
Mhm.
lost without them. I love them to death.
Let me ask you about that though, Shelly. Because your fierce independence comes all the way out, and you still, at the same time, I would almost say they're like equal parts. You have this fierce independence, but have such like a wonderful way about you that I can tell that like your friends must cherish you because in this short interaction, I'm like, wow, what a wonderful person. How do you help people understand those moments where you need help versus those moments where you are demonstrating your independence? Because I would imagine people may immediately want to help you or may say, oh, she's got it. And there's a moments that you actually need help, but they don't recognize it. How do you sort of signal to people, or like what information do you share with them to let them know, like, here's a time I need to be independent versus here's a time or I need to have your help?
Well, they're usually with me, or I'm meeting somebody somewhere, or some people have been almost afraid to ask. Not afraid, that's the
Yeah,
wrong term, but they don't want to overstep the
sure.
right term. I'll just say, let me do it, and if I need your help, I'll ask you, and I'd appreciate it.
Hmm.
And I appreciate the consideration of not assuming.
Right.
Oh,
That goes a long way. But no, if I need help, I'm the first to ask for it. I know what I need,
Hmm.
and so if I need something, you just gotta speak up.
Yeah.
And I used to be really shy. I don't in college and stuff I was shy, but now I don't really care. If I need something, I'll let you know.
yeah. The self-advocacy can be so hard to navigate as far as you wanna communicate, but you don't wanna constantly at least for me, sometimes it felt like that's all I talked about. "Oh, this is what I need in these moments," but
Yeah.
you bring up a crucial point of, yeah, you'll just be openly communicative about the times you actually need help, and I appreciate your family and friends respecting that. I'm curious, and you mentioned how supportive your parents are and your friends being there for you. How have your relationships formed your journey?
In terms of friendships in general, or
Sure, just how have they affected how you are today? Have there been moments or periods where they've really helped elevate you and supported you, and what does that look like?
yeah, there have been. I'm human. I'm not gonna lie. There have been days that I question why am I like this, and there've been some tears. But that's everyone that struggles. We all struggle.
No doubt.
Yeah.
So I would reach out to my personal trainer. She was my kind of go-to, and her name was Rachel. And I'd say, Rachel, I'm having a day. And she's like, no, I know you got this. I know what you can do. Don't let it stop you from anything. We're working on it together. Because I would go to her like once a week for stretching and for that sort of thing. So another part of CP that I didn't mention was extremely, extremely tight muscles
Okay.
and muscle tone. So like my muscles will lock up on me and especially in the cold. So I obviously live in the wrong part of the country. But
Right.
Yeah.
I did do a semester in California and I wish I stayed out there. But anyway,
I heard.
so she was my mentor and I need help with this. Can we work on this? At one point I was on crutches for a little while. I didn't like the crutches. I fell a few times, split my chin open. After that, PTSD. I was like, I'm good with those.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good. Let's
Yeah.
put them away. But yeah, all my friends now are from high school, believe it or not. They've known me since kindergarten. So they've
Amazing.
seen me grow up and seen what ways I need help and I don't. And growing up, I didn't see myself as someone any different. When I
Mm-hmm.
got to college, though, keep in mind I went to school with these kids from kindergarten. So going to college is a big adjustment. You don't know the people. I had gone to Curry College in Boston, and
Hmm.
I had my orientation, and I was so afraid to tell my story again. The other people knew my story, so I didn't have to explain it. And now
Right.
here I am in college, having to explain it all over again. And I actually had an anxiety attack and got a
Mm.
migraine headache and was sick to my stomach and had to spend the night in bed in the dorm at orientation. Instead, I hear all these people laughing and having fun, and I'm like, why can't I do that? But
Yeah.
it was the anxiety that got the best of me. I called my mom, I was all upset. And my cousin, the same one that I had mentioned earlier, she's like, don't let that judge your college experience. You had a bad night because you got nervous explaining your situation. You're older now, you recognize more things that are challenging. She was right. 2 years later, I ended up meeting the best roommate. Fantastic. We were on the dance team together.
Come on.
I actually auditioned for the dance team just to do it. I'm like, oh, if
Yeah.
I don't get on, I don't get on, whatever, it's fine. So I actually made it. So we would dance at basketball games and
Let's go.
that sort of thing. So it was fun. I had a lot of fun in college, more than I ever thought, and I wish I had known that on that terrible night.
Right.
But since then, I'm 36 now. I've obviously grown up a lot even since then. So I've taken on a lot of new challenges, which one of them was the color run. If you've heard of those.
Those are the mud runs, right?
Yeah, yeah, the color. They put all kinds of color paint all over you.
Oh,
Oh
gotcha.
yeah, I've
So
seen
not
that. I've
mud
seen that.
run. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've done 4 of those, and it wasn't a race in terms of a race for like you or somebody that has the ability to run. Mine was more of okay, this is a goal. I want to do it and I want to finish. It
Yeah.
wasn't, let me run and do this whole thing. No. So one time somebody came up with a golf cart and they were like, do you need help? And I was like, no, 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 this is a major goal of mine.
Yes.
Stay
Don't ruin this for me. Yeah, that's right. Just stay over there. I
So
love it.
that was great. It's probably bad. No, well, then my trainer hear this, but I didn't train for it beforehand. I just went for it. We
Just
won't.
went off of vibes.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, I'm gonna do this. So even my parents were like, "Why are you doing that?" Because
Mhm.
I want to, and I have a major goal of the Boston Marathon someday. But
Yeah.
it's not gonna be today. Tomorrow, next year. I don't know when it'll be. I've had
Right.
some setbacks in terms
Sure.
of Botox. But they used it in my legs to try and loosen because, as I mentioned, it was extremely tight.
Yeah.
And they actually gave me too much. So I wasn't able to do anything on my own anymore.
Oh,
Wasn't able to
goodness.
shower on my own. Drive, well, I could drive, but balance, I couldn't get the walker out of the car.
Yeah.
I always constantly had to have my mom or dad with me to help, or a friend or
Mhm.
someone like that to get to work every day and pick me up. It's just something I couldn't even put my hair in a ponytail. Like, my muscles just
Yeah.
wouldn't move.
Right.
And it lasted about 6 months. So I was like, what the heck did I do that for? But you have
Mm-mm.
to try things, and I'm glad I tried it, and I'll never do it again.
Shelly, I wanted to ask though, because you've talked about some of these larger setbacks, but
Mhm.
you're still fierce in maintaining your independence and going
Absolutely.
after what you want to go after doing the color run. People are like, why are you going to do that? It's like, because I can. I give you
Right.
so many props for doing that. How do you maintain your hope and your perseverance during those setbacks? Because you'd mentioned even 6 months, like that's a tough period of time where you're feeling just down and out. So how do you maintain like your inspiration, your hope?
I knew it was temporary,
Yeah.
which kept me going. I'm like, "Okay, this is something I wanted to try because it either helps you or," and as a kid, it helped me, but as an adult, it didn't help at all, so clearly. But I was like, "Okay, this is temporary. I'm just gonna go to physical therapy." Like, I couldn't even do a push-up, and
Yeah.
I always had really good upper body strength because of the walker.
Right, right.
Oh, sure.
So being at physical therapy, I'm like, "Well, why can't I do this? I could always do this."
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of putting reality into it and saying, okay, this is temporary. You can't let it, much as it bothers you, it's not going to go away right now. So you can either cry about it
Mhm.
or you can work on your body and try and get the Botox out of your system as fast as you can, which I don't know how possible that is. But so I'm still glad I tried it because
Mhm.
otherwise, then you're left wondering, right? What if I tried this? I'm sure you guys can relate. What if I tried it? What if I never tried this?
Can be easy to give up and then you're in, unfortunately, a life of regret. So I give you credit for just going for it. It doesn't matter what it looks like, but
Mm.
not letting that stop you is incredible.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, you can't let anything stop you.
Mhm.
Life's too short.
So I want you to take us back to like those more challenging times when you were younger. What is the thing that you would tell that younger person? Like, look, we did this. Like, it's going to be okay. Like, what is
Mhm.
that thing that you look at, whether it's, like living independently, working, doing a color run? Like, what is that thing that you would tell your younger self when, you're with classmates who don't understand and are being, immature about everything? What would you tell that younger version of yourself to sort of encourage them?
That we all have challenges, and this happens to be mine. It is what it is, but it makes you more resilient in the end. And it makes you. I know a lot of people are proud when they, as they should be, when they accomplish things, but you have so much more sense of, wow, I did that, than probably the typical person. I mean, I'm saying everyone should be proud of themselves. I'm not saying that they shouldn't in any way, but what I'm saying is, for me, it takes a little extra work sometimes and more challenges than typical, depending on what somebody else has. Again, you don't know everyone's story. But, you get through it. They're just, at the end of the day, they're just kids.
Yeah,
They just don't handle I guess their curiosity, if you want to call it that, very well yet
sure.
because they don't know how. So I guess I would say just you'll get through it. You're a strong
Yeah,
person. You'll get through it. There'll be more challenges thrown at you in the future, and you'll get through those too.
yeah.
Sometimes even more so as an adult.
Real, very real.
Understand that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All too well.
I'm just blown away that you had that wisdom at such an early age, that they're
Mhm.
just kids. We don't know what everyone's going through, whether they have something going on at home or else. But I just can't imagine gaining that insight at such a young kid. What are, I guess, has there been any other like insights that you've taken away from those experiences that have helped kind of shaped you and help you deal with, even you mentioned, I mean, adults can be very immature too, during those times where people just, they don't get it, they don't understand.
Right, and I'm sure, again, that you understand too, there are just people that they just don't, and
Yeah.
even when it comes to, like, online dating and stuff, like, I've met a couple people and, like, the first question is, "Oh, so can you have kids?" And I'm like, "Which I can, I've never been told I can't, as far as I
Right?
know." But, like, I wanna be like, "Yeah, well, not with you."
It's like, isn't that a fifth date question?
But
Buy me
it's
dinner
amazing what
first.
people ask. I'm like, I could write a book. Um,
I believe it.
but, my reality is having CP and having a walker. It is what it
Mhm.
is.
Mhm.
If someone can't accept that, then that's on them, that's not on me, and it's taking me forever, even now, to realize that because it still hurts. No
Mhm.
matter
Yeah.
what, it still hurts. But the good thing is, it weeds out all the jerks.
Yes.
So somebody that wants to know you will get to know you.
That's real. You just have this amazing, like, glass half full perspective that I think is such a great demonstration of what we always call invisible strength. Like, do
Thank you.
you do you know, like, who in your life, like, helped influence this perspective? Like, where the, like, the community members, family members, whoever were, like, who sort of, like, fed this, like, very, like, optimistic and joyful disposition you have?
Well, it was my mom.
Mhm.
She would always say, like, well, you can't be Debbie Downer about it. That was her saying, Debbie Downer. And then
Debbie
a lot of
Downer,
heavy days,
yeah.
she'd be like, "Oh, no, it's Debbie. Debbie's here."
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But it's mostly just from growing up and maturing and,
Yeah.
having a disability gives me compassion for others.
Mhm. Real.
I'm unemployed right now,
Got you.
but I recently applied for a job at a hospital in Foxborough, which is about 15 minutes away from me.
Uh-huh.
And so it would be a patient care coordinator, but I feel like I want to do that too. I mean, I'm sitting behind a desk, so I don't know how much help I'll be to others, but
Right.
I would love to be in the hospital atmosphere doing something to inspire them. I've been in those waiting room chairs. It's nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
extremely nerve-wracking. So if I can, even being the intake person,
Mhm.
make their day a little bit better, then that's what I wanna do, and I'm kinda using that as a stepping stool to maybe get into radiology, maybe get into not I don't know, I'm trying to figure out my next role from
Got
there, but
you.
it's kind of a stepping stool. So, I'm still waiting to hear back from them, it's been a month, so I'm
Yeah.
trying to keep I haven't gotten a rejection letter in my email, so I'm trying to keep
Fingers
my
crossed.
That's right,
fingers,
that's
eyes,
right.
toes, whatever you can
Uh-huh.
crossed. But even with that, if not, then there's something better. I just don't know what it is yet.
And I love that you're thinking about that role because, all of us have been in emergency rooms, all of us have been in the
Yeah.
hospital. We know that first person, in your case, that patient care coordinator, can set the tone of how great or not great your stay is going to be. They can really set the whole temperature for what that hospital stay is going to be. So I'd say, like, I know you want to keep moving up, but I'd say that's a very essential part of the patient experience is that first door. You're setting the tone of hospitality for them, which I think you have the right, personality for it. So whoever's out there, not go call the place, but watch this episode for reference. I'm telling you, she's great.
Thank you. That's where I'm at right now. I would love that. So we'll see.
Yeah,
I'll keep you
Yeah.
updated.
yeah, please.
I just want to say it comes down to the smallest interactions. We've walked in and interacted with someone at the desk and they can barely look up at you and just
Come
move
on,
you on through. And at the same time, you could be incredibly anxious or nervous about what may or may not happen.
right?
And having someone just have compassion and empathy as soon as you walk through the door, I think can make all the difference in the world.
Wow.
Definitely. And even the providers I've noticed, some of them don't even look at you.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them just want you in and out.
True.
I've had some good ones, but it's a grab bag at the end of the day, especially when you're looking for someone new.
Yeah, we always joke you gotta shop around till you find some
You
good
really
ones.
do. You really do. And it's takes a while sometimes.
Hmm.
For sure. Shelly, last but not least, I want to ask, what does invisible strength mean to you?
That you keep going no matter what. If you're having a bad day, you keep going. Like I said, sometimes it's easier than others. But I did have something I would like to share with the listeners, and that's for anyone with a chronic illness or disability. If you feel misunderstood or underestimated, your path is valid, and you don't need somebody to rush or compare timelines to your health. Your strength is real even when it's invisible. And one thing that I wish somebody had told me was that I didn't need to earn my worth, that it
Hmm.
was always there the whole time. I just had to
Right.
realize it for myself.
That brings tears to my eyes because it took me a long time to learn that lesson.
It's hard.
Real.
And there's days where you still question it, but it's like, nope, you're still worthy regardless of what you're going through or what you produce.
Hmm.
Yep, it's hard, but all we can do is handle the hand we've been dealt, and sometimes it's not a great hand. I'm not going to be honest, but it's what you do with how you handle what you've been given that makes all the difference.
That's amazing. Shelly, I want to thank you so much for being here and sharing your story. I know I've known you, but even having this conversation, it goes so much deeper than just when we were playing with jewelry on my on my room floor. But it's been great to have you. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course.
Chris, thank you for being here as always.
Such a great time with y'all. Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Likewise.
To our community for support groups, coaching, and resources, check out invigorateyourjourney.com. We're here to support you in any way, shape, or form. And to Shelly's point, you do not have to do this alone. We are here for you. Until next time, take care. Peace.